Welcome to Florida Gators Live, episode number 53. And man, we're both just coming off a crazy finish to the Jacksonville versus Raiders game. I was supposed to say Oakland.
Yeah,
Fun fact, Jaguars have the last win inside of Oakland Stadium.
that's so funny. That's still so funny.
That is. And then we go out there and beat them on a 2-point conversion attempt in overtime. I didn't realize they had changed the rules.
No, I didn't either. Well, also neither did Fox, because on the score bug when the Jags took possession there, it flashed.
I thought it said that
wins
too.
with touch. It 100% did. Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
I learned that. The Fox graphics producer learned that. We all learned something today.
Yeah. We learned something new every day. So they got to they got a touchdown, went for a 2-point conversion, and Devon Hamilton, Ohio State winning again, of course. So
yeah,
but
they
great
stay winning.
A win is a win in the NFL. No committee, nothing,
true.
just winning is all that matters.
That is true.
We'll see how the rest of the season goes, but hopefully they can, make a run. Hey, it seems like running the ball works well for us.
Yeah, just run the ball. I don't know where. I think Trevor can still be okay at some point, but right now, just run the ball. Just run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, the receiving core is just also.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. also got hurt. We had.
Yeah.
Adam, what is Tramel's first name?
Austin Trammell was in the game. Yeah.
Austin Trammell. And Parker, I love Parker Washington, but he's just not that type of level receiver.
No, he's not.
And those were our top two receivers in overtime.
Yep.
And Trammell had the nice kick return, so give him credit for that. But it was not good looks for that unit out there. So it was nice to get the win.
Yeah, you got to take those.
More importantly, not getting too much into lag play because we're going to discuss that later. You weren't part of the post-game show last night. Also, didn't get too much into it. My voice was killed. I'm going to say this. Split traffic at Everbank Stadium for Florida, Georgia is the worst I've ever seen.
Really? I tailgated there. I didn't end up going to the game and left after the tailgating and watched it at the beach. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty slammed even when I was there before the game.
So in the stadium are getting into the stadium as well. Oh my goodness. Probably waited 10 minutes just to even scan our tickets from the line. And then I went to the bathroom at the beginning of halftime. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get a drink, and hopefully I should be back. Just from halftime to when I got off the bathroom, there was only 3 minutes left of halftime. So I took 17 minutes of mostly waiting in a line to use the restroom. So
that's crazy.
And I had to skip a drink. I had to skip getting a drink because I'm not missing part of the game.
Wow.
Because those lines were were even longer than the restroom lines. So
hopefully that's rectified when the game comes back in 2028. Hopefully they've got that figured out with the new stadium.
So I went the whole game screaming with nothing to drink. My throat was killed. So last night's show was a bit short.
Yeah. Wasn't exactly the most exciting game. I mean, it was an exciting game, but it wasn't the most fun result to talk about.
Daniel Berry, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Daniel.
Happy Sunday, Daniel.
Tomorrow's going to be Victory Monday, so that's going to be nice. And Basketball Monday as well, so that's going to be fun to talk about later on.
And I keep forgetting. Obviously we're going to talk about it here, but it really snuck up on me that we're already in basketball season. But I'm very excited. It should be fun.
So I wanted to quickly, not talk about lag play because we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Get your thoughts on the game, what you thought offensively, defensively, maybe something you saw different offensively now that O'Hara was calling plays and not Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was drastically different. I think if you came in expecting to see a totally different offense, I don't think you saw that. I mean, I think there were things formationally I thought looked different. I thought, just in general, I said last week, spread it out. We did, I feel ran a little bit more 4 wide than we typically had.
We didn't run as much 12 personnel.
Yeah, that's really more what it is. We did a lot of 3 wide and a tight end. Yeah, we didn't run a lot of 12 personnel, which I mean, it has its place. I'm not saying you never do it, but Billy did it way too often
with good tight ends.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I thought formationally, I like that more. I mean, I thought just in general, the mindset of getting the ball downfield to your receivers, to your best receivers, I saw that a little bit more. I mean, I think the main thing was Trey. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if I don't know if it was statistically the best game of his career, but I mean,
It was his best SEC game. The first
Okay.
game, or against a Power 4 opponent as well.
I mean, it
Over
felt
100
like
yards.
it felt like the most impactful game he's had of his entire career, whether it
It's
was
like the Tennessee game, at least.
Mhm.
Back in
Yeah, I
2023.
mean, and even that, because I feel like if I remember correctly in the Tennessee game, he was kind of just like, I don't want to say being a screen merchant, but I think like he was doing it a ton like with like Yak, whereas this was more us scheming him open downfield, which was good to see.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
mean, yeah, he had his fair share of screens that went for yards in this game too. But no, I mean that was nice to see, and especially with Vernell out, with obviously Dallas getting hurt, which sucks. I mean, that's a real bummer. Not having him for the rest of the year. Yeah, I mean, the one good side is he still maintains. I believe he played in 4 games, so he still maintains the year of eligibility. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to matter with him, truthfully, because I think he's a guy that's going to be playing in the NFL in a couple years. But
he legitimately broke his foot, so it's not like a red shirt,
no,
save a year.
No,
so.
I mean, he was on a boot on the sideline in the game. Like he broke his foot. So I mean, that's just a bummer though, because I think he was probably Florida's maybe not like best all around receiver, but I think best like playmaking receiver. And I think it would have been nice to see what he and DJ could potentially develop, because I mean they've only played together 4 games, so that's a bummer. And obviously, but it was nice. It was really nice to see Trey step up, because like my hopes for the offense looking a lot better were kind of dashed when I found out, or when it became clear that Vernell wasn't going to play, and that obviously when Dallas got hurt, but having
Mizell as well.
Mizell too, yeah. So injured there, I thought. I mean, the offense didn't look great, but I think there were reasons to be optimistic that like, hey, maybe you can go out and put together a really good offensive performance against this Kentucky team this week.
Kind of my thought here. It felt a lot more simplified. There wasn't as much, changing the plays of the line. There wasn't as much motion. You're gonna have motion. That's football now. It's like it's gonna happen. There's no not doing it, and there's reasons for doing it. So it's not like it's something that you should never do. But there was less motion, less changing the plays, quicker offense, especially in the first half. Getting up to the line quicker. So when you do have maybe a little play calls, you're not waiting to the last second and risking having a delay of game penalty, and a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for? I said the word last night, I'm pretty sure. I'm just now forgetting it. It was just cleaner. Not many penalties on the offensive side. How many penalties? Were there many penalties on the offensive side actually at all? Like, I think there were only.
We only had 5 total penalties as a team. I'm not sure how many of those were offensive, but yeah, I mean, there were not many. It was definitely cleaner. I mean, I thought Billy G overall coaching wise, pretty good first showing. I mean, I thought there was maybe some questionable timeout management at points, but like, guys
really?
First game as a head coach. I'm trying to remember when it was. I'm trying to remember. I think it would have been end of first half. I honestly, I can't remember specifically if it was end of game or end of first half. I just remember, I don't remember the specifics. I just remember thinking I don't know what he's doing here.
I know I don't remember any issues I had with his timeouts. I thought the end of game he called timeouts fine. You got to get the stop. That's not calling timeouts. You got to get the stop there.
Yeah, I think it was something at the end of the first half. Like, I think it was a timeout.
Brian Taylor jumped off sides.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any at the first half. So I mean, that might just be some nitpicking stuff. But
it probably was. It was probably just something at the time I was annoyed and was like, I don't understand this. But no, I mean that's a point. It's a minor nitpick. Like, I thought first game as interim, I thought pretty clean coaching job all around. So no real complaints there. I mean, you had a shot to beat a really good Georgia team. Despite all the missing guys, all the upheaval. I mean, obviously a bummer to lose the way that you did. Obviously a bummer that kind of just struggled to stop them for a lot of the second half. But, I mean, end of the day, I think you can see the potential with this team. And I think it becomes abundantly clear that if you make the right hire here and you can retain some of this talent, you have the opportunity to be pretty good next year. I don't think this has to be you were that close to beating a Georgia team that's almost certainly going to the playoffs. So,
Yeah, it felt like a game where you had 2 pretty evenly matched teams where we had the lead for the most of it, but Georgia's championship DNA is what a lot of people are calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Their championship DNA and winning culture was able to pull them through in a game that Florida probably should have won. We have the ball up 3 with 7 minutes left on 4th and 1 in Georgia territory, and they get the stop.
Yeah.
If we get that first down, hard to argue against Florida winning.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been in pretty good shape.
And I'm gonna ask you, catch or no catch?
I think it was probably going to stand either way. I think so. They showed an angle. The first angle they showed, I honestly didn't think it was a catch, or at least I didn't think it showed definitively that it wasn't. But what I saw on the first angle they showed was it looked to me like his arms, like when he was going to catch it, his arms were wide enough that the way the ball went, like I was like, that had to have hit the ground, but you can't definitively tell. And then a different angle they showed, it actually kind of looked like it didn't. I mean, I think the nitpick is that it was ruled an incompletion on the field. Like, or that's like the valid complaint. I mean, I don't really think they could overturn that from what you saw on replay, but definitely frustrating that had they just called that a catch on the field, it probably stood. But I mean, also Lagway's just got to throw a better ball there. Like, he's just got to throw a better ball.
Yeah, I was in the first row one of the end zone sections there. And I looked around at the big screen right behind us, and they showed us all the angles. And from my eye, I mean, I have a pretty big screen there. I have a really good view of it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it hit the ground from multiple angles. Like, I guess, as you said, the one thing is they just still have an angle showing
the ground. Like, you
from
can't actually
the left
see
side. Yeah,
the ground between his arms. Like, the ball dips down a little bit, but we can't tell if the ball. That's the thing. The first angle, it looked like his arms were wide enough and the ball dipped enough that it probably would have hit the ground, but you can't see the ground, so you don't know that for certain. And then the more like above angle they showed, it kind of didn't look like that, but again, you still can't really definitively see the ground. So, like, again, I think if they called that a catch on the field, I think it would have stayed a catch, because I don't think you can. There certainly wasn't anything that definitively showed it hitting the ground. Was there anything that definitively showed it not hitting the ground? Like, you know what I mean? Because like, just because they don't see it hitting the ground doesn't make it indisputable. So like, I don't like, it was hard. Like, I understand people that are upset with that call. I mean, to me, the bigger issue is that if that's even a slightly better ball, that's a walk-in touchdown. I mean, just honestly, like, that was what bothered me more than that, the way that was officiated.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to
this as well.
Yeah.
The incomplete pass, strip sack incomplete pass at the end of the first half. I'm pretty sure by rule it is technically a incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But why is the arm going forward make it a pass if he's dropping the ball?
Yeah,
I mean, feel like that's something that needs to be adjusted.
I think that's a fair argument, because like, I was kind of talking about this with my friends when we were watching the game, and it's like they made like a valid point, because I mean, the first time I saw the first replay, I'm like, well, his arm is moving forward, like by rule, that's gonna be an incomplete pass. But I mean, they were right, because the ball does kind of come out sideways, like you know what I mean? Like, it almost looked like a lateral to an extent. So like, I don't know how that works. Like, I really don't. That was just another one where it was just a really weird play. Like, I think because the arm was moving forward, it probably had to be called incomplete pass. But yeah, like, again, just a weird rule in general.
By rule, I think it was an incomplete pass, but like, he's not throwing the ball; he drops it. Like, he just straight drops it. So,
and there's a lot of those like that too, which is like annoying, because the arm does start to slightly move forward, but like, it's so clear there's not a passing motion at all happening. Like, the ball is stripped and slips out of their hands.
His arm twist.
Too.
So, go quickly over the defense here before we start talking about DJ in particular. Defensively, felt like what we've seen from the defense all season.
Yeah. Where, at least against the better team, against the better offenses. Yeah.
Play good football for the first 3 quarters. Don't give up many points. But then in the fourth, when you've been on the field most of the game, the other team's able to grind you out. Lack of depth. I mean, injuries definitely don't help our depth there. But
no,
it's just not able to hold on at the end and get that crucial stop in. I mean, also they had before they went up. So when the score was 20-17, I think after the fourth down stop they got, we had them at like a 3rd and 10, and they get in that 3rd and 10, I think we got a sack on the previous play, and we get caught with Miles Graham on Zachariah Branch.
Yeah,
which,
I remember that one. Now, like, you just see it. It's like you can't even be mad. It's like how, like, what is he supposed to do there? He's Miles Graham on Zachariah Branch, who cooked us, by the way. I mean, we didn't have much of an answer for Zachariah Branch in this game.
That's the point. Like, why is Miles Graham on Zachariah Branch?
No, that was just
on the most important play of the game. Like,
no, I think that's what was frustrating for the defense. I mean, they were fine overall. I mean, kind of didn't play that. I mean, this only gave up 14 points in the second half, but yeah, it kind of felt like they got sort of worn down a little bit here. I mean, but they played well enough to win the game. I mean, look, Georgia just scored 43 on Ole Miss, scoring every single time they touched the ball. You hold them to 24 points, you have a chance to win the game. And you probably would have if the offense could have held up its end of the bargain a little bit better. So, I mean, like, I think defensively, about best case scenario you could have expected against an offense that's actually been surprisingly really good this year.
Yeah, and I am Sam here. The Kentucky game will tell us a lot about the team's resilience. I think we can go 6-6 if we fight like we did yesterday. I 100% agree. We'll get into this a bit more later on, but let's go and talk about kind of the main storyline from this game. Is DJ Lagway the QB of the future for Florida? So he made some great plays in this game. I mean, the touchdown pass, I didn't even see that in the stadium. Like, section 348, and I didn't even see Trey Wilson open and Lagway flicks it. Like, that's just one of those throws that looks so effortless that's going 40 yards down the field and into the hands of Trey Wilson that ends up being a touchdown. So you have that type of throw, but he was also missing a lot of open stuff in this game. Mm-hmm. You mentioned, obviously, the catch or no catch to J. Michael Sturdivant at the end of the game. Well, J. Michael Sturdivant, from where he's throwing it, where he's running to his left, flicking it, he throws it 50 yards. How much more of he could have put on the ball? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, but he was wide open. I mean,
he was wide open.
I mean, it's like, I have to see it again, like the all 22. Like, could he have thrown it earlier? Is, I guess, what I'm wondering. Did he not break open until that late?
Oh, because, I actually have word on this. Okay. Lagway said that Sturdivant was his fourth read on the play. Mm-hmm. And he was on the move, and to the point where he knows he should have gotten more air on the ball. Yeah. But Sturdivant was the fourth read. My other point here, though, Sturdivant's the fourth read, something that's going unnoticed. I think it was Trey Wilson who was running like a 15 or 10 to 15 yard in route from the right side. He was also wide open. So you would have saw Trey Wilson running open before you got to Sturdivant, your last read. Yeah. But then again, he's also scrambling left. So I got to double check the timing to see if he cut open before he started scrambling already. But, no. You have a touchdown if you make that throw, and Lagway should have made that throw. I mean,
he's capable of making that throw. Like, we've seen him make similar throws to that before. Yeah. I mean, I think the bigger issue is, like, I'm not going to get mad at Lagway for trying to take get what would be maybe not a game clinching, but a massive touchdown in the game. And but like, he's got to throw a better ball. And he missed one earlier. I'm not sure it would have been a touchdown, but it would have been a big play. I'm trying to remember.
The Tank Hawkins.
Yeah. Sorry, to Tank Hawkins earlier in the game.
Corner route. Yep.
Yeah, he was wide open. I mean, it's that kind of thing with DJ. It's just the misses, and it's concerning because I don't really think this was a major problem for him last year.
I'll say about that one. And something that's happened this year, last year we talked about it as one of Lagway's, best attributes was stepping into the pocket. Stepping in, staying in the pocket, and making great throws. Well, that Tank Hawkins throw, the reason he missed it is because he threw it early. Tank Hawkins was still cutting when he made the throw, and he didn't have time to burst yet. And Lagway threw it because he thought the pocket was collapsing, but he still had another second or two in there. If he waits to make that throw, that's probably a touchdown right there. Where last year we know he's willing to stay in into the pocket and take that throw. is that a result of his injury issues, where maybe he's scared a bit? I'm not saying
Mhm.
scared, but maybe a bit psychologically, it's not trying to not get hit again.
Well, like, I think it's everything. I think the injuries, I think the time away, like the lack of off-season prep, I think all of it just has resulted in a quarterback who is really lacking feel for the game right now, who is mechanically not just struggling, but I think regressing.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, that kind of just to bring us back to the question of is DJ the quarterback of the future? I mean, I think, look, do I still believe DJ is probably going to be a good quarterback, whether it's here or elsewhere? I think with the right coaching, I think he can be. I think, does someone like Lane look at him, an uber talented quarterback? Yeah. I mean, does Lane look at him and, probably the most talented quarterback Lane's gotten to work with, at least since he was at USC. Because he had Barkley for like a year, I think. But I mean, DJ's probably more talented than Barkley, but I'm just saying, like, that's an opportunity. Like, does Lane look at that and think he can fix him? Like maybe, but
I think he does.
I think he does too, probably. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, DJ's in kind of a broken state right now. I question, just, if he's healthy going into the offseason, he's going to have a full offseason. That changes things. If he's limited again, that's concerning. So we'll just have to see how things look when we get to that time. I mean, I think you could go out and find a quarterback who's better, certainly, than DJ is right now. Would Lane prefer to do that? Or anyone prefer to do that? Maybe. I mean, I guess my answer is, like, if Florida hires someone like Lane, and I would trust Lane if he's like, no, DJ's the guy and we're going to stick with him and develop him. But at the same time, like, I don't think you can, like, build your program and make moves around Lagway being the quarterback of the future. Like, I think you have to operate under the assumption that he might not be, and that a new coach might want to bring in a new guy, whether it's his own guy from, if we don't hire Lane and we hire someone who wants to bring a quarterback with him, or whatever. But the point being, like, I think DJ has a lot of work to do, and he's not, I mean, he's regressed this year, and it's a concern. Is he the quarterback of the future? I mean, I think he can be, but it's going to take a lot of development from where he's at right now.
Yeah. Going back to the question, staying specifically on the question, I should say, I do. I think because I expect Lane to be the coach. That would be my prediction right now.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing Lane's track record, knowing the fact that Lagway missed all offseason, or he missed all the spring and most of all of spring and then most of fall practice, like, and he's still been injured a bit. He got hurt in the Texas or before in the Miami game. Yeah, he got hurt in the Miami game as well. Like, I think you also can look at the coaching we have here and question it.
Yeah,
Right,
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Let's look at the QBs here under the Napier tender. I mean,
I
Ryan
mean, his
O'Hara
offensive
isn't
coordinator
some
got fired, who was also the head coach.
yeah,
So, I mean, like, yeah.
and Ryan O'Hara isn't some known QB whisperer. So, I don't know how good these guys are. It's too hard to tell, but, like, nothing says that he has the best coaching.
No, absolutely.
And I think we've seen it from him. We've seen him play well, and it's just, he's regressed. So it's like, is that something that's gonna last with him for the rest of his career, or at least at UF or in college? Maybe, but I think if you get Lane, he comes down here. It's up to Lane. Whatever Lane decides, I'm on board with. But I would figure that it would be Lagway, and I think there's a really good chance that we could have a really productive season with Lagway under Lane Kiffin.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that does concern me a little bit here is I feel like, because I mean, last year when he was playing better and more freely and just looked more comfortable in the offense, I think even then there were some flaws that I feel like have all gotten more amplified this year. And that's a concern because, like, those flaws, those concerns were already there. I mean, like, I still think I would still probably bet that whether it's here or elsewhere, he's going to have, end up being a good quarterback and probably be in the NFL. I just if it's Lane and we stay, and he stays, I'll obviously be optimistic because I believe in Lane, and whether it's Weiss or whoever he brings with him as OC, I would believe in and trust his judgment. But I also wouldn't go into that next year talking about Lagway the way that we talked about him this offseason, because he's got a lot to prove now. So I think, he would very much be a question mark, even with Lane coaching, I think.
Yeah, I think you don't have to do it, but I think people will also give a benefit of doubt to Lane if he's
I'm
rolling
sure
with
they will.
Lagway.
Yeah.
Again, it's like we've seen Lagway play great. I mean, he was the SEC Player of the Week in the week against Texas. We still have our easier defenses ahead on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we played some pretty tough defenses this year as well, so I wouldn't be shocked if he goes out there and has a good end to the season. I'm not saying he's going to be phenomenal, but if he's good, and then you get Lane to coach him up and, implement his offensive style and, all that fun jazz, I definitely could see Lagway still having some hype around him going into next year. And his overall talent alone will also keep up the hype around DJ Lagway, no matter where he goes.
Yeah. I just think it's so key. He needs a full off season of work and development, because if the new staff decides to keep him around, they're going to have a lot of work to do. Because again, he's just really in a kind of a rough spot in terms of comfort and mechanics and all that. Because I mean, we know he has the talent. We know he has the arm. I mean, he was running the ball, with decent effect yesterday. I feel like DJ is struggling with reads of all kinds right now. So run plays that require him to make a read, I feel like he's struggling a bit on. But when we just run like a design QB draw, he's tough to bring down. I mean, he makes plays. You're on mute, Tyler.
Okay, it just randomly muted. I don't know why I did that. There was a noticeable difference when he's running east to west versus north to south.
Yeah.
His two successful runs on the 2nd and 20, and then there was another one on like a 2nd and short, I'm pretty sure, where he also ran for like 10 yards. We're just straight up the middle. Georgia had no linebacker in the middle of the field. Our offensive line creates a hole, and he's able to take it for a really good game. Like, I think the fact that we spread out the offense a bit more in this game allowed for us to be able to do that. So maybe that's also something we can keep on. And when that happens, when the linebackers do go up more up the middle, the sides are going to be more open. And again, we're going to be facing weaker defenses. Although I'll be interested to look at this Kentucky game because I'm not sure what to think of Kentucky's defense. But it's still going to be weaker defenses in the last 3 games at least of this season. So I think we found something there running north to south with Lagway rather than, going east to west or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if I were Ryan O'Hara and Russ Callaway, like if I'm including DJ runs on the play sheet, like I'm pretty much sticking to those kind of things. Yeah, because I mean, there was that one where, I mean, it was a great play by the Georgia defender, don't get me wrong. But I mean, it looked like he had like a walk-in touchdown and he got tripped up. I mean, maybe DJ just doesn't quite have the athleticism.
No, I thought that was a great play by the Georgia defender.
I mean, it was, but it just looked like such a clear path. And like, I don't know. I feel like if he were just slightly more mobile, he could have maybe made a move there.
Okay. I mean, if you're expecting him to be, more, I guess, about a high level, running mobile QB.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm expecting.
But like that, that's why I'm in agreement that we should be kind of doing those east-west things more sparingly. Like, I literally think his best usage as a runner is like kind of the way Florida used Tebow, like just run him up the gut because he's tough to bring down. He rarely goes down
6'3",
on first
245.
Like when he's got a full head of steam going downfield, he rarely goes down on first contact. So I think that's definitely the key with him because again, if you're asking him to make a guy miss on the outside, he's probably not going to do it. So
yeah, as I was saying, like 6'5" or 6'3", 245, like reportedly 245. Won't go too deep into there, but I think with the right staff, I still think there's a high upside. There is a high upside, no matter what you want to say, with DJ Lagway. I think it's accessible. So I think Lagway is the QB of the future. Like, unless we go and get hire a defensive name, which I don't expect as of now. So that's kind of where I'll leave it. And you agree, kind of as well?
I mean, I agree in the sense that I think a new coach coming in would probably want to keep him around. I remain kind of skeptical that DJ is going to get to the level we expected he would be. Certainly, like the way we talked about him coming into this season. I'm very skeptical about that still.
Yeah, that's a very fair thing to say. All right, I got to give myself a little pat on the back here from last week. We were doing our pick'ems, and at the end of it, I point out West Virginia at Houston. And we didn't pick the game, but, off the record, I guess a bit. It's on screen. You can go watch back. I could go find the clip even. And I go, West Virginia is 100% going to beat Houston. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not because West Virginia has been playing better football, which they might actually have been now.
They have not been before tonight. What was their last game before tonight? They've had some.
Maybe I thought I saw something about that, but maybe.
I mean, maybe they played some really ugly games earlier in the year.
So there was no rhyme or reason that they're playing better football. No, I was just like, this is a spot where Houston's going to lose, and West Virginia's offense puts up 45 and wins 45-35. So I just want to give myself a little pat on the back for that right there. Like, should have put it on our predictions, but
yeah, you should have. Would have gained a game on me because no, I would not have picked West Virginia to win that game. You would have gained a game on me if you had
at Houston as well. So talk about a gutsy call for me right there. No, tough. But getting to our actual pick'em league, last week a pretty rough week for both of us. We both go 4-5. We both split on a lot of predictions, and we kind of went 500 on those splits. It's kind of how you would expect. I picked Vanderbilt. You picked Texas. Texas won. I picked SMU. You picked Miami. SMU won. Both upsets. We both picked Iowa State. They lost. Both an upset, right?
I think
Who was Iowa State? Arizona State. Ooh, I can't. I think Arizona State was.
It was at Iowa State. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. I picked Cal. You picked UVA. UVA won. We both picked Tennessee. Yikes, Tennessee. USC. We both picked USC. They beat Nebraska. We both picked Wake Forest. They lost. I picked Utah. You picked Cincinnati. Utah dominated that game. Yeah. And then we both picked Georgia. So unfortunately, we got that right. Which brings my record up to 35-39, and your record up to 42-32.
Wait, so you say I picked Cincinnati? Okay, so that's one I changed my mind on midweek, which it happens. We make these picks on Sundays. When I have to make a pick on like Thursday, sometimes I change my mind. But I own it. I picked it on Sunday. So
yeah, nice excuse there. No, but got an interesting week here of college football. Finally, gonna be able to pick a game outside of the Saturday schedule because last two Friday nights, pretty weak games. But we'll start off on Friday night. Maybe a winner goes to the American Championship game, which looks like the American Championship will determine to play off the G6, G5 representative for the college football playoff.
Almost certainly, especially after Boise lost on Saturday yesterday.
Tulane at Memphis. Memphis beat Rice, dominated Rice. They also beat USF 2 weeks ago. Tulane coming off a bit of an embarrassing loss to UTSA.
Yeah.
That game wasn't even close. I mean, maybe Summerall is looking somewhere up. New Orleans is south of Baton Rouge.
It's like southeast of Baton Rouge. It's like southeast of Baton Rouge, yeah.
Yeah, or looking up north towards Auburn, Alabama. But team did not look good in that game, and now they travel to Memphis. What is your pick in this game? Tulane at Memphis.
I think Memphis is going to roll them, honestly. I don't really believe in this Tulane team at all. They had showed cracks before. They almost lost to East Carolina, who's a pretty good team. But I think Memphis, I don't really know what to make of that UAB game, but otherwise, I think Memphis is really good. I think they can put up a lot of points, and I don't think Tulane can match them at home. To me, this is a no-brainer. I'd be pretty surprised if Memphis doesn't win this game.
Memphis is a 6.5 point favorite. I also can't get that UAB loss out of my head that Memphis had. Yeah. I don't have confidence picking either team here. Is this the game I want to go out and increase your lead with by picking Tulane? Or is this one where I feel confident? I don't feel confident enough, so I should just stick here. I'm going to play the numbers here. I'm going to take Memphis also to win this game.
Yeah.
Play it a bit safe.
I think that's a wise pick on your part. I would be pretty surprised if Tulane wins that game. I don't
wouldn't
think
be
Tulane has the
surprised.
offense. I don't think they have the offense for it, honestly.
Man, Mekhi Hughes should have stayed at Tulane.
Yes,
I mean, he got paid a nice penny. He got paid a nice penny to go to Oregon, so.
Yeah, like, save a redshirt year, make a ton of money. Like, you could do worse for yourself. He'll probably end up being pretty good somewhere else next year, but yeah, man.
All right, as we head to Saturday. Oh, man, this game's at noon in Lubbock, Texas. A top 10 matchup between BYU and Texas Tech. I'm going to keep it short and simple. Give me the tortilla tossers of Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, BYU, like, credit to them because they've won games, but, like, they've won games in pretty shaky fashion over and over again. Texas Tech is just a way better team. Like, Texas Tech's defensive front with David Bailey, like, I don't really see it for BYU here. I think it'll probably be semi-close because that's just kind of BYU's MO, but, like, I think Texas Tech wins.
Like, we're both picking Texas Tech to win, but that's just how BYU, on paper, they probably should be like a 500, maybe above 500 team, but they find ways to win. And it's like, if they beat Texas Tech, would I be shocked?
I wouldn't be shocked, but I also
probably not.
I think it would be malpractice to pick them because I think on paper it's just such a better matchup for Texas Tech.
Yeah. All right, picking our next game, the biggest matchup of the week. The Citadel at Ole Miss. Why is Ole Miss playing the Citadel on week 11?
That's early for a SoCon Saturday. What are we doing here?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock on the SEC Network Plus. Is this like the women's NCAA?
Over under on how many comments Lane makes post game about how thin the crowd is at the Ole Miss Citadel game. I'm gonna say like 2.5 comments in the 2.5 passive aggressive comments in the post game presser.
I'm going to take the over because I want it to be over.
Yeah.
Do we make that our prediction? No. I don't trust the over there. No. Okay. Because maybe it'll happen once.
You might just say it once and just talk about it first, like a little bit. Like you might not go like circle back and talk about it again. Yeah.
All right. Next game we're going to talk about here. An interesting game. I don't know if you saw the FPI odds on this Saturday. Texas A&M at Missouri, or this may have been last Saturday, actually. Missouri's going to be starting Matt Zollers, the freshman QB. Bro Pabula's out. Missouri's not eliminated yet.
No,
but
they're not. No.
Did Matt Zollers show you enough where you're like, I could see him going on this A&M team?
Absolutely not. Not against Cassius Howell in this tech. That's a nightmare matchup for your first start as a freshman. That defensive line. I don't think Missouri's bad, but I do not see it here. Where's that game?
It's in Missouri.
Okay.
Columbia, so.
That's better, but I still don't see it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's Texas A&M. They're not gonna keep winning, are they?
I think they're legit really good. Like,
yeah,
I think they're they might be the SEC's best shot at winning the Natty, honestly. Like, maybe that's a hot take because Alabama has looked pretty good, but I think A&M might be like built for it all around. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm also going to take A&M to win this game. All three of our picks the same so far.
Yep.
All right, next game. Let's pick it because I think this is a bit of a sleeper here. I have it's week 11, and it's like you should know teams by now. Whether maybe it's inconsistencies.
You would think.
No, but like you can know, like, okay, this is an inconsistent team.
Yeah.
But at this point, you should have seen them play a couple games, tough games. But Oregon at Iowa.
It's tricky. That's tricky.
Oregon's best win is the OT win against Penn State.
Yeah. Easily could have lost. Easily could have lost to a not very good Penn State team.
Is Indiana that good? Are they on that level? Or is Oregon just not that good?
I think maybe both. I mean, I think the way
somewhere in
Indiana
between.
is. Well, I think the way Indiana is just because like Maryland is not an
Mhm.
awful football team, and they just
No,
completely steamrolled them. So like,
that's true.
there's something to Indiana for sure. But I think it's fair to be like, is Oregon as good as we assume they are? I think that's a totally fair line of questioning.
I don't think anybody was watching it because who's watching Oregon versus Wisconsin from 2 weeks ago? That
I had
offense
it in
did
the
not look
quad
good.
box. I had it in the
Oh,
quad.
you did?
I did have it in the quad. No, it didn't look very good. It was That was a surprisingly ugly game for Oregon against a really bad Wisconsin team.
Also, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the right week. Okay. There's no channel station listed for this game, so I'm not sure what ESPN's doing here.
They're really not.
Is it Peacock?
For Oregon, Iowa?
Yeah, I don't. They're not showing on ESPN. Is it Peacock?
It's got to be NBC or Peacock. This is great radio. I figure out what game that's on. Oh, it's broadcast on CBS. That's the CBS 3:30 game. That's
Oh, okay. That's yeah. I wonder why ESPN doesn't show it on there. Okay, they don't like the Big Ten confirmed. No.
Yep.
But like Iowa's defense is good. Their offense is maybe figuring something out. I wouldn't fully sell on or buy it yet, but Oregon's. Iowa's a solid team. Do I trust them enough to beat Oregon though? It's in Kinnick. Kinnick is good for an upset. Every Saturday needs a shocker, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's not going to be this one. Give me Oregon.
Oh, okay. You had me there. This one's really tricky. Like
I had myself there.
The moment I realized like that this game was coming up, my first thought was, oh no, that is danger for Oregon. I can't bring myself to pick it. What's the spread here?
6.5.
I would maybe go for an Iowa cover there. I would maybe go for an Iowa cover.
Maybe if it was over, if it was 7.
It's like my problem is I think Iowa's offense has been like good in a scrappy way, but Mark Gronowski's not really doing it through the air. How confident am I they can win that way against Oregon? Not very. Like, I think it could happen, but I can't bring myself to pick it.
No, that's too much for it's just like it's how different can Oregon be from last year?
And I think it's fair to be fair, I think the Penn State stuff, I think Penn State, I think that game broke them. I think it's very fair to say they would be a different team today had they won that game. Drew Aller aside, not even talking about the injury, just in general.
I will say, Lane Kiffin has already sent a clear message. No excuses because of the time. Maybe Saturday is the first day you can come kill some animal. If it is, just wait until Sunday. Let's have a great atmosphere Saturday.
What?
I'm not sure what the middle of that is, but he's already calling out the fans to sell out the Vought for Citadel.
Okay.
Or come to the game. For 1 o'clock against the Citadel. So you're mentioned. Does that count or is it only post game?
I said in the presser, but man.
Okay.
Because he's going to say stuff like that ahead of time to get people to go, but it's probably also going to be pretty thin. Because, it was thin for the Washington State game, which was a nooner 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever that was. So.
Yeah. All right. So we're both taking Oregon there. Next game we're going to pick.
Have we made all the same picks so far? Do we have any different ones? Okay.
Not yet. And I got a game that's going to be an interesting pick there. Okay. This is an interesting one. Auburn at Vanderbilt, 4 o'clock on the SEC network here. Auburn just fired Hugh Freeze. Shocker, I know. I was talking about last night. You score 3 points at home against Kentucky. You don't survive that. I don't care.
No,
you do not survive that.
That was going to do it. I think he was probably in trouble anyway. I think it would have happened a week earlier if they had lost to Arkansas. But that definitely you can't not do it after that. Was not a very surprising firing to have to deal with this morning.
But Vanderbilt kind of got fraud checked a little bit against Texas.
Which not to toot my own horn here. I did call that one.
Got show off.
I think Vandy again, I think they're a good team. I almost feel like people are so caught up in the Vandy storyline that they like over-indexed on Vandy and started
I
acting
agree.
like Vandy was like a like I mean, because they are still a playoff contender, I guess, but like acting like they were like in that elite rung, like that top rung of the SEC when they just like so clearly were not. They're good, like they're a really good team. They're like maybe the next team out of that net or the best team out of that next tier, but I mean, I think you kind of saw that they're a bit a little bit fraudulent in that sense. But with that being said, against Auburn, like I think they'll probably be fine there at home, right?
DJ Durkin, the interim coach. I won't make that joke right now, but related to Brian Kelly, if you understand.
Yeah.
No, but Durkin's a good coach. The defense is still great.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the play caller? It doesn't matter because the QB play.
Was Freeze technically play? Because he did a really weird. They like announced some really weird system for
they
play
overcomplicated
calling.
Things.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would assume. So who's their OC right now? I should know this, but I don't off the top of my head. Derek Nix. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would assume he's just gonna be calling plays, which I think he might have been already. I think he might have been doing that already, but I do wonder if you see Deuce Knight now, the 5-star true freshman. Yeah.
Vandy's a 7.5-point favorite. Are things going to come back to the median for Vanderbilt, where it's like they're not a playoff team, but they're still like 8-4 good, maybe?
I think that's what they. I think they might be even better than that this year. I think they're like maybe a 9-3 this year.
Asking, like, if they lose this game, like.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if they lose this game, I don't even know anymore because I just don't think Auburn's very good. But
I think Durkin's a good coach. I think Durkin is fighting for this job, which I think is a legitimate possibility here.
Really? You think so?
I mean, from what I've heard, there's people in Auburn who would like that.
Man, I'm not going to say anything beyond this, but if they follow up Hugh Freeze with DJ Durkin, just have fun with that, man.
Here's the thing, Durkin. Durkin gets a chance to prove himself in some games here, and it's not like he's some, coordinator lifer or position coach lifer. Like he's a former Power 4 or Power 5 coach.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good one among other things that happened there, but yeah,
he's been an elite DC now.
Yeah, so he's a great 100%. He's a great DC. No doubt about that.
I mean, I'll say if he doesn't get the Auburn head coaching job or doesn't get a head coaching job elsewhere, if we bring Lane, Durkin was the DC for Ole Miss before Auburn poached him, so that would be an awesome hire for us. But I guess your pick's gonna be Auburn here.
Vandy. My pick's Vandy. Also, he didn't get poached. He got poached by A&M and then got fired with the Jimbo staff and then ended up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, same potato. You're gonna go Vanderbilt. Do I pick a difference here? Is this where I lay my head on? Do I want to pick against Vanderbilt? Like, is that the type of person I am?
It's just at home. Full heel. If this were in Auburn, I would have given it some more thought. But I think they'll be fine at home. Like they're the better team. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm also going to take Vandy here. This is one where I would feel bad with myself if this is one I got wrong.
But yeah, Vandy just comes out and wins like 35-7, and you're like, you overthought it.
Yeah, but also like I picked against Vandy. What type of human does that? Against Auburn.
I did last week and it paid off, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but like Texas is still that much more talented.
I mean, Arch
better coach.
Arch low key starting to play a little bit better.
Hey, that bringing you through 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, that went 75 yards. That was a beautiful ball.
Hey, he's not being actively negative. I'm just saying he's playing better than he was earlier.
Yeah. I'm not gonna jump any guns on that one. So here's a fun game. They just got blown out, and now they're traveling to Virginia. Wake Forest at Virginia, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Virginia, a good win against Cal. Like, it wasn't a close game. They controlled that most of the game there. Never really in doubt. Wake Forest just got obliterated by FSU.
Yeah.
Was Wake Forest looking ahead?
Maybe. I don't know.
The ACC, everything comes back to the medium. I'm not questioning it. I'm taking Wake Forest in back-to-back weeks.
Ooh.
And on my spreadsheet I have here, they are right under the exact same spot I had them picked last week.
Okay.
So if they get it wrong, it's going to be front audience for me.
We'll be different here. I mean, I like Virginia, I think, has its problems. I think it's hilarious that they're the only 5-0 team in the ACC and they've lost to an ACC team. It's very funny.
Yeah.
But
was it Virginia Tech or NC State?
It was NC State.
Okay.
Who has a couple nice, they haven't had a very good year, but they have two pretty nice scalps on their head or on their mantle right now. Between Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech, who they beat last night to give them their first loss of the year. I mean, I think Virginia has its problems. I don't really believe in Wake. I mean, I don't know what to make. I understand where you're coming from because, like, what am I supposed to make of the ACC? Wake just beat SMU and then SMU beat Miami. Like, what does any of this mean?
This is my pick from last week of West Virginia, Houston.
It probably is. And I feel like you actually are going to be right about this one, but I also feel like there's a very good chance you just won't be and Virginia wins easily. So I'll go with Virginia.
I'm going to name an order here. Can you tell me what this is? Duke, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Louisville, SMU, Pitt, Miami. What do you think that is?
Well, those are the ACC standings, right?
That's the betting odds in order to win the ACC ACC.
I mean, yeah, Miami's like basically boxed out of the playoff now. I mean, it's not impossible, but like it's going to take a lot.
We find out Tuesday. Because if Miami's below Notre Dame, they have the head-to-head, but Notre Dame has better wins or better losses.
Which that's kind of I wouldn't fault the committee for doing that because I think if you ask me which team I think looks like the better team right now, it's Notre Dame. But I think that's a pretty annoying way to look at it.
But Miami's odds to win the ACC were plus 3,300. After they were the favorites just last week.
Man, I mean, I don't even know what you do with Mario at this point because he's raised the ceiling, but at the same time, like you continue to lose these games and it feels like it doesn't matter how much of a talent advantage you have, you'll still lose these games. So it's like, I don't know what you're building toward here, but at the same time, you can't really fire him because he's still winning like 10 games. And it's Miami, and they haven't been able to consistently do that in a long time. And it's like, if this guy, is a native son, elite recruiter can't get it done, then who's going to do it? But it's just like, man, it's just tough because, like, I mean, I would be very just frustrated if I were a Miami fan because you keep losing games exactly in the exact same way to teams you're way more talented than. And I don't see any reason to think that's going to change.
Hey, man, it's just Emory Williams season.
Yeah, man, Beck is not good.
He's regressed back to the.
Yeah, he's fully back to. I can't believe he was like third in Heisman or like second in the Heisman odds like less than a month ago.
It's just so weird looking at former Miami coach Manny Diaz is the favorite to win the ACC, which would make the playoff.
That's actually really funny.
It is.
That would be so funny. And then especially it's even funnier if he ends up getting hired, if he does that and like then gets hired at Penn State and then like the guy Miami fired ends up at like arguably a better job than Miami after winning the ACC over Miami.
I'm just going to ask you. So it seems like it's one of these four teams, Duke, Georgia Tech, Virginia, or Louisville. Who wins the ACC? Like SMU and Pitt are both over plus 1,000, so I don't think it's going to be either of those two. I'd say if Pitt can still make it, Mason, or is it Mason Heinzel?
Yeah, Mason Heinzel. Man, they're fun.
Phenomenal.
They're fun right now.
If they
still have to play Georgia Tech and Miami, I believe.
Yeah.
So
that's probably why their odds are so low.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still probably say Georgia Tech right now.
I mean,
Haynes. I mean, that's a good pick too. I mean, Haynes King still had like 400 like 500 total yards last night, and they gave up just way more, like too many points. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I would still pick Georgia Tech to beat all those teams head to head. So like, I guess I'll say Georgia Tech, but I mean, I really don't. Like, I could see Louisville. I could see Duke. Even though Duke.
I don't trust Duke. Duke likes to lose games.
I don't trust Duke either, but they've actually been pretty good since ACC play has started. I mean, they got very lucky. They got bailed out big time yesterday. I don't know if you saw how they won that
Yeah, I
game,
know what you're talking.
but
Yeah,
that was a. I mean, I'd be pretty livid if I were a Clemson fan today.
Like Duke should probably. They have 3 losses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, to the other Tulane and Illinois are their other ones, and then they lost to Georgia Tech in conference.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So they lost by 26 to Illinois. That was
kind
a
of
26-point
game.
game.
That was kind of fake. That was pretty.
And
fake,
they should not have lost that Tulane game. They choked that Tulane game.
I didn't really watch that one, to be honest with you, so I don't know how that one played out.
Here, I can't. Okay, I can't. I'm looking at here. I think Tulane. I'm trying to remember, but they shouldn't have lost it. I just remember them should have won. Should have won that game. Like they just have untimely turnovers. Like I guess just
I think Darian Mentz is pretty good. Like he's definitely better. Definitely better than Malik Murphy was last year.
So I'm gonna say Louisville because I think Jeff Brom's the most trustworthy coach of all of those guys. So
that's probably fair.
And I don't want us to even hire him, so I'm gonna leave that at that. But okay, got a bit sidetracked there, but it's nice to talk trash about Miami. So
yeah, it's fun. Always
them
fun.
not even really being in the picture anymore is like they only have betting odds because they're Miami.
It's just like, how do you not have a playoff appearance with that schedule? Like in these 2 years, I don't get it.
All right, moving on. I took Wake, you took Virginia. Next game we're gonna pick. Here's a fun one. Do you know what it is? Based on FSU at Clemson, ACC Network night game. In Clemson, South Carolina, Memorial Stadium. Clemson's a 2.5-point favorite, so it's a 50-50 game here.
Yeah. But I mean, 2.5 at home. Yeah, that's like that's
literally 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this to you because I have no.
I really don't either. I have no idea how to feel about this game.
Okay, let me.
So I'm going off.
Work this out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work this out right here. This game's at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Norvell coming off a big high of a big win against Wake Forest. I know, like physically, point wise, it was a big win against Wake Forest.
It's just a funny thing to say, a big win over Wake
No,
Forest.
both the things I'm about to say are both negatives towards the teams. I thought it was going to be a positive towards one of them. I was going to say FSU's coming off a big high. Now they're going to let down because fans are like, oh, Clemson just lost to Duke, so they're not as good, and we just got a big win. We're back, but then you get the letdown. But Clemson also just kind of got let down by that rough loss to Duke, so this might be a down spot for them after that tough game. Like, give me Clemson because I trust Dabo more than Mike Norvell.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Yeah,
but I'm going off complete vibes here, and it's like, whose vibes do I like more? And I mean, FSU's vibes are bad. Don't get me wrong, but I really don't like the vibes at Clemson. I think their defense is just atrocious right now. I think the FSU will probably have some success there. I don't like this pick at all. I don't feel good about it or confident about it, but I'll take FSU, I guess, because I think that staff has everything to coach for at this point. I think they might have some added motivation now after finally getting a win on the board, and Clemson just feels like a team that's in collapse right now.
Yeah, I just don't trust Mike Norvell.
I mean, I don't either. I don't blame you. I don't feel good about this pick, but that was my when you initially brought up the game, that's where my gut feeling was. I don't really have any information to counter that because I have no idea how to feel about this game.
Yeah. Not picking this game, but Nebraska, Dylan Raiola out for the season. Tough break for them.
Tough. That's tough.
They're underdogs at UCLA by 2.5 points now.
They'll probably be fine. I don't know about UCLA. Their backup was a decent recruit. Beyond that, I don't know much about him. I don't know. I kind of think UCLA was a little fake. Yeah, I know. I'm just talking it out. I don't know.
We'll talk about Florida, Kentucky later on. Don't think the Pac-12 winners, Oregon State hosting Sam Houston. Congratulations to Oregon State.
Hey, not the winner yet. They play again. They play
twice?
Yeah, they played the end of the year. They play Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, they play twice.
They still only have 6 teams or 6 teams, right? In the Pac-12 signed?
No, it's 8 now. It's up to 8.
Oh, it's 8.
Pretty sure because they added Texas State. I think that got them to 8.
Okay. Yeah. Good luck. Have fun to them. All right. I don't want to pick LSU Bama because Bama's winning. Talk about Missouri getting a bit screwed of the night game because now we're just gonna watch Bama blow out LSU.
Yeah, that's just legally mandated that LSU Bama has to be a night game if they play. Is that in Death Valley or is that in Tuscaloosa? Okay.
Bryant Denny.
Okay, because if it was in Death Valley, it is actually legally obligated to be a night game, but it probably.
Oh, dang it. I was about to say Navy's still undefeated. We can pick them against Notre Dame, but Navy lost to North Texas. That's right. Mestamaker threw for like 600 yards.
Wait, we have an FSU fan in chat that's getting real happy after a win over Wake Forest.
All cupcakes, even Florida. UF is this a Kentucky fan though? The U6K though at the end?
I don't know, but
I mean, this is Will Richard.
Yeah.
No,
bro, you got to go make plays for the Warriors. Get out of our chat.
No, they got to bench him for like someone who's gonna have a bad game. I don't know. I know. I think he's only playing because Moses Moody is hurt.
Okay,
but he's playing really well. We're not getting into that.
Yeah.
Is that the last game? I think it is. Until we get obviously our Florida, Kentucky picks. Just take a double check here. Indiana, Penn State.
No.
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 Northwestern USC.
They scored 14 points on Ohio State, which I didn't even know if they would score 8 points.
Yeah, it was only a 3-point game at half.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize it was that close at one point because I didn't watch a ton of that game.
Oh.
I didn't realize it was that close.
UTSA, South Florida, Thursday night game. Raymond James. No.
I think that was more of a Tulane thing than a UTSA thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Okay, that'll be it for those picks. We're actually going to take a quick break here, and we'll come back. We'll talk more. I'm missing the thing. Oh, here it is. Yeah, we'll talk more. We're going to talk Florida, Arizona basketball that kicks off tomorrow night, and then we'll make our Florida, Kentucky predictions and preview the game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Oh, sorry. Welcome back to Florida Gators Live. Yeah, William here. Not an FSU fan, just to let y'all know. So I'm guessing Kentucky fan. But JLB,
yeah, I'm so sorry. So sorry about your Blue Jays. I hope you know you had almost all of America standing with you. But that's a bummer.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it earlier. Yeah, Dodgers win the World Series. I watched the ninth inning and to the end of the game. The only MLB I watched all season, but
I'm not a big MLB guy. I didn't watch any. I wasn't able to watch any of the game last night, but I did watch. I did stay up to watch that insane 18 inning game because I just had it on and was like pot committed, and that was that was brutal, but it was a fun.
That's where I was at last night.
Yeah.
Man, congratulations to the Dodgers back to back.
Yeah.
But let's talk some Florida basketball here. Florida versus Arizona, 7:00 Monday night, tomorrow night, I guess you want to call it. Defending national champs. Can we go back to back? Tyler, can we?
Yeah, I absolutely think we can. I mean, I think there's a couple like key questions that need to be answered if that's going to happen, but absolutely, I think you can.
Yeah, so looking at Ken Palm here, it has Florida winning by 5 points. 89, where'd it go? 84-79. I would consider that a pretty good win there. Taking a look at Florida's projected starting lineups. Boogie Flan, he didn't play in any of the scrimmages, but from everything we hear, like, he should be that guy. And he was that guy for a good part of last year, until the injury happened. I think people look at his numbers, and they're a bit deflated by him coming back injured in the tournament, like decreasing his points per game, decreasing his 3-point percentage. And all of that while Arkansas was still struggling to get congruent offensively. And he's a great defender. That's something that people are underrating about Boogie Flan, his ability to defend. And I think
it's the main thing I hear about him. From that's like when you listen to like analysts, like draft people and stuff talk about him. Like, I feel like the main thing they talk about is his defense. So yeah.
Yeah. So Boogie Flan, I'm expecting great things from him. And, it's tough losing 3 elite guards and Walt, Will, Amart. You can't ever replace them. You can just hope to get good play from your new guards. And now it's only 2 instead of 3 this year.
Yeah.
With Xavier Lee beside him. But I think Boogie Flan's defensive upside, like, Walt was a willing defender at times and made some pretty good plays last year. Obviously, arguably the game-winning play in the national title game. No, it wasn't arguable. He did make the game-winning play in the national title game there. So he had his moments there, and then, Amart was still a bit undersized, or, it wasn't like compared to Boogie, I guess, a little bit, like with his wingspan and everything. But I mean, elite defender, and Will Richard also.
Yeah.
Elite defender,
sorry.
But
go ahead.
I think Boogie could be the best defender of any of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, he has he's certainly the most talented backcourt defender we've had under Golden. Whether he can maximize that. I mean, I think you're gonna have really good play from him. I mean, I think the offensive end, we'll see. It looked pretty good when he was, when he was healthy at Arkansas last year. I mean, I think you worry in the backcourt maybe a little bit about Xavier Lee. Like, I think not like worry, but just I think that is the bigger question mark in terms of can he replace because you just lose so much production from Walter Clayton. But I think you might have in Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan, especially, who I think is getting pretty high marks in this regard. You might have better distributors in the backcourt potentially.
Yes,
than you had last year. Because I think they can both play the one, and it sounds like they are both going to play the one.
I think I heard Boogie Flan, when they are set in, out of inbounds and everything, Boogie Flan will be the one bringing the ball up the court. But outside of that, it's anybody. He said anybody can. Obviously, Ruben Nilu isn't going to be bringing the ball up the court, running the floor.
Do it, you cowards.
I mean, hey, I haven't seen how he's looked, and anything like that during the offseason, but I really doubt it. It's actually going to be Olivier Roux. No, but I mean, I think we have 2 really great playmakers. Walter Clayton Jr. really surprised people last year with his ability to distribute and be a point guard, but that's not going to be a question with Boogie Flan or Xavier Lee. We know these guys can be point guards, and that's how this offense is going to be able to be helped a bit more. Last year, at times, it would get, we just got to make tough shots. This year should be a lot more fluid. We're able to get a lot of easier looks, easier lanes to the basket, draw more fouls. I know that's something Todd Golden has mentioned, and I mean, look back at 2024 when we had Zion Pullen, who was the first team all SEC point guard, where we were one of the highest free throw shooting teams in the SEC, and then we lose Pullen. And it wasn't our team's style, so we weren't really shooting many free throws. We were one of the lowest free throw shooting teams in the SEC last year. So having these point guards with these bigs, I expect the offense to be more fluid. The difference is, are we going to have the 3-point shooting like we did last year?
Well, I think a lot of that is really going to depend. And I know we've kind of talked about the backcourt, but to like look at the front court, I think that's partially going to depend on like how good it, because Tommy Houck, they're really talking about how he can shoot the 3-ball. We'll see if that translates. I think even Condon, there's some talk about how he can shoot the 3.
Oh yeah.
I think the point I'm trying to make is you're going to have to kind of get that made up for in the front court a lot, because this is going to be a very different team stylistically to last season. This is going to be a team that runs through its bigs, which is not what this team was last year, even though it had good bigs. So I think from Lee, I think Lee has a pretty solid track record as a 3-point shooter. I think same with Fland. I think you lose some offensive ability in terms of production from your guards. We'll see. Maybe Fland takes a big leap, and that's less so than we think. But again, I think you might be able to make up for it if you've got a legit 3 who can play as a big and also hit threes, and Houck, and if you can even get that from Condon as well. So I think that's going to be the key.
Yeah, talking about the bigs there, I think something a bit underrated. In our scrimmage against Illinois, reportedly, Ruben Chinyelu shot 8 of 12 from free throws.
Wow, that would be a very nice development.
Yeah, if Ruben Chinyelu has really developed his free throw game, I know he was in the draft process. We were never too concerned about him leaving, but, was getting talk from scouts. But kind of like Will Richard last year, Will Richard really took a step up in his from junior to senior season. And a lot of that's attributed to listening to NBA scouts and hearing what they had to say. And Ruben Chinyelu didn't need to hear NBA scouts say that he needs to improve his free throw shooting.
Yeah.
But, other parts of his game, his offensive skill set, getting to the free throw line more, with the combination of also improving your free throw percentage with our bigs and with our guards' ability to get inside. I already mentioned it with our free throw, shooting a lot more free throws, but yeah, our bigs being able to score a lot more because of that would also be a really great development from this offense. Ken Palm predicts Florida as the 3rd best offense in the country. These are all predictive metrics here, so a lot will change, obviously. Last year, our offense definitely wasn't 3rd, and we were 21st ranked instead of 3rd ranked in general. But I'm expecting this offense to be pretty good. It's just, is it going to be elite like last year, or is it just going to be still like really good? It's going to depend on, as you said, Condon, Houck, and our depth pieces at shooting threes.
And by the way, I think like it might take a step back, at least in terms of like the 3-point game. And you might still be okay, because I think you're going to have more success like in the post and stuff like that than you had last year, because again, you just have such good bigs, and especially just if Condon can get back to the level, closer to the level of play, maybe even take an improvement from it, but like pre-injury Condon, if we can see that, I think that's going to be dangerous.
All the words I'm hearing is Condon, like he's going to be the best player on this team.
And if that's the case, you ask, can we go back to back? Absolutely we can. If Condon's like an all-American caliber player, absolutely we can.
Yeah, like obviously, like, Condon being best player on your team, it's like he's a great player. That wouldn't be a surprise. But from what has been said, like he might definitively the best player on our team. Like that's going to be really good. I know in the scrimmage, I think it was said he had 24 and 13 against Illinois. So, and you mentioned our offense. We were a top level offensive rebounding team last year in the country. We're gonna have 3 bigs who can all rebound at a high level in Condon, Chinyelu, and Houck.
Yeah.
But then you also still are gonna have Handlaw and come off the bench as well. So even if our shooting does take a step back, our offensive rebounding rate is gonna go up from already elite to even more elite. Like we're gonna be like A&M last year.
Yeah, I think when Florida plays teams when Florida plays teams where it just has like a clear size advantage, I think it's going to be nightmarish to try to win that game as the other team. Like I think you're just going to have I think when Florida plays some of these teams that do have big athletic, front court guys, they might run in a little bit of trouble, and then maybe you lose a couple games because the shooting's not there. But man, yeah, like if Florida is just bigger than you and they can offensive rebound on you, you're going to have a long night playing against this team.
Yeah, and get a bit into our depth here. You're already starting 3 bigs, and then you're going to have a 7'2" center coming off the bench as your 6th man. Now, 6th man, you can define it in different ways, but he's going to be like one of those first guys off the bench right there, and Micah Handlaw. And you're going to be able to rotate those guys back at a really high level. And also, you could still move like Cal to the 4 and run 3 guards, or if you're putting Ingram at the 3 as a true like 3 small forward there. So that's going to be interesting development. But you look at our depth. From what I'm hearing, AJ Brown isn't going to be much of a factor this year.
He's been kind of banged up, hasn't he?
So yeah, so actually what I heard was that they weren't expecting him to really even be ready, but he's ahead of schedule.
Okay.
But I also heard they're not really expecting him to do too much this year. I heard that his brother Isaiah Brown is probably going to be getting more run. He's going to be getting a lot more run than he got last year, which is just a given. But they're really high on Zay. So and then Urban Clavzar, when Boog was starting, when Boogie Flan was out, in our 2 scrimmage games, he went a combined 9 of 15 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I
again,
mean, he's shown it as a shooter, like as a downtown shooter. If he can kind of be a more complete player outside of that, he has a chance to be, I think, a real contributor on this team.
Yeah, so Clavzar, and then we haven't mentioned our 2 freshmen yet, and Alex Floyd and CJ Ingram. I mean, you hear different people talking so much about them, and these are going to be our 7th or 6th, and or 7th, 8th, or 9th players off the bench for us this year, and they were top 40 recruits. Not too many teams can say that, but my point here, one of those 2 guys is likely to have a pretty good season for us, and I've heard great things about both of them. CJ Ingram specifically, his defensive ability, his athletic ability as well should be through the roof. And Alex Lloyd is just a guy who just go get a bucket and go get a bucket. That's what I hear from them. So I expect to see them. And if maybe one of those guys, breaks out early in the year, they could definitely increase their role throughout the season.
Yeah, I think kind of going back to what you said earlier, like you're not going to just straight up replace those 3 seniors you lost. I mean, they were some of the best players in the country and seem to be getting some run in the NBA. So obviously that was no fluke. So, but I mean, I think you look at like, can you replace them in the aggregate? And with like a legit NBA guy in Boogie Fland, with a very experienced, good offensive player in Xavier Lee, and then obviously 2 talented freshmen and Isaiah Brown, who they seem to like a lot. I mean, I think there is the hope that you can maybe recreate them a little bit in the aggregate there. Because I think while you don't have like the other than maybe Boogie Fland, sorry, you don't have like the super proven standout in the backcourt, but I think you've got a lot of guys with a lot of potential and talent. So,
yeah, I'm trying to find what the projected Arizona Wildcat starting lineup's gonna be, but Jaden Bradley.
I've got one here. I don't know how.
RotoWire.
Yeah, are we looking at the same thing?
Yeah, well, they don't have Koa Pete, their 5-star freshman, starting, and I fully expect him to be starting. I saw something saying Del Orso being a 6th man, and then Koa Pete maybe being at the small forward position. So this Arizona team actually has some pretty good bigs, or they have good size.
Yeah, they have good.
It's the same model that Todd Gordon really runs through.
Well, that's kind of what I was, as we get into this matchup, like from everything I can tell about this team, everything I just said, if Florida's bigger than you, they're going to just bully you. I'm not sure this is going to happen on tomorrow night. Like, I think this is a team that can ball with the Gators. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's a tough matchup on both ends.
Yeah. And so Arizona, you look more at their backcourt now. Where'd it go? Jaden Bradley, returning starter. And who's their shooting guard? I just lost it. Brandon Burris. Is he a freshman?
Yes.
So a freshman, and then Bradley, a returner. They didn't have a returning point guard because KJ Lewis and Caleb Love are their like highest returners in assist rate from last year in assist. So how well are they going to be able to distribute to all these bigs that Arizona does have is going to be an interesting question there. And they have size, but Koa Pete, who's a true freshman 5-star, a lot of talk about him. There's not like he's going to be able to bully a lot of teams, but he's going to be facing 20 or 21-year-old Thomas Houck and Alex Condon and Ruben Chinyalu. Like most teams might have one guy that your 5-star freshman is going to be going up against and can win it. but we're going to have 3 experienced grown men for him to get in his first actual game. So
he's also only listed at 6'8", which I'm not saying that you can't be good at that size, but it's like, that's going to be tough to contend with like Condon when he's like, he's kind of Houck's general height.
I'll say Darian Williams was able to bully us in Texas Tech last year.
That's true.
As
that's
a 6'6" or 6'7" big.
Not saying it can't be done. Not saying it can't be done.
No.
It's just true freshman in his first game. We'll see.
Yeah, that's my point. Like Williams is a senior, and Koa Pete's going to be a true freshman. Like he has all the talent, 5-star pedigree to him, but that age does matter, and it's going to be his first game. It's also how does our backcourt mesh together? Because it's gonna be a new starting 1, 2, and 3. How are they able to click together? How does the passing the ball? Are they going to be able to rotate at a high level like they might be later on down the season? But this is also the same for Arizona, for most of their lineup as well. So it might be a slower start for both teams. It might not be. One of these teams could really jump off the board at the beginning of this game, but no, I kind of expect it to be a bit of a slower start, but I kind of think Florida's going to be able to maybe not pull away in this game, but, keep this at a comfortable distance maybe. I know. Here, let me pull them back up. The KenPom rankings, they have Florida at 2 right now, and they have Illinois at 6.
Mm-hmm.
We were missing Boogie Flan. They were missing Stojakovic, Andrei Stojakovic as well. So, both teams missing one player. I'd say Flan's a bit more important to us than Stojakovic is to Illinois. But from how I heard that game went, and KenPom has Illinois at 6. Obviously, these are preseason rankings. Who knows how they'll go? They have Arizona at 15. I think we were able to get a lead and hold on to it and win by 10. I honestly think this game is going to go a bit the same, where we're going to be able to get up and, kind of hold on to the lead, but not pull away.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to put that much stock in an exhibition, even ignoring who's available and who's not. It's still an exhibition. You kind of approach those a little differently sometimes. So I don't think you can put too much in Florida beating what is probably gonna be a very good Illinois team. I think Florida wins this game. I kind of agree with you. I might think it'll be maybe a little bit closer than that than you're kind of implying. I just think it's going to be a tough game where kind of each team has to work through some kinks. But I think you got to like the matchup for Florida, especially given Florida's experience. It's just for losing 3 starting seniors. This is just such a very veteran team still. So I'd give Florida the edge here in a first game of the year situation.
Yeah, maybe you can make the argument, this game is going to be in Vegas, Arizona, a lot more closer to home. Mm-hmm. But I think we've seen Florida play well away from home.
They played in the Sweet 16 in the Elite 8 in San Francisco, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, we played well. And, in the SEC, we played at Alabama, at Auburn, mm-hmm. and won in those tough environments. So, I don't know how much of a factor that really will be in this game. KenPom, our offense is projected 3rd. Our defense is projected 6th. Arizona's offense is projected 11th, and their defense projected 22nd. Projected, as I said. But KenPom has a pretty clear advantage in the preseason to Florida. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that ends up. Maybe a bit of a score projection. I like the KenPom. I'm gonna say 86 to 76.
Yeah, I might go a little more high scoring. I might say 88 to 80, but I kind of in that similar ballpark too. Yeah.
All right, so we're both in that same range there. So, hey, it's gonna be nice. When's the last time we opened the season with a big win off the bat, a big top 15 win? Or I don't know where Arizona's ranked in the AP poll, but
Florida doesn't play a lot of these games early on, no. Doesn't play these games game 1 very often at all. Part of that's you win a national championship, you get invited to participate in all of these early season tournaments and elite neutral site games. They want you in those matchups, so it comes with the success.
Like, I remember we participated in the PK 80 like in 2017, 2016, where we got a big win over Gonzaga, and then we choked that game against Duke, but it got a lot of hype for us. Like, it is as if if you would beat Arizona, probably similar hype. Well, we're also defending champs, but
I mean, I think if you come out and look and win definitively against Arizona, I think there's going to be a lot of talk like, oh, they could go back to back, which not like that's a hot take, but still.
You look at Florida's first games. 4 of our first 6 games. So Arizona, Florida State, Miami, and TCU. And if we beat TCU, we'd also play another Rhode Island or Wisconsin, right? No, not Rhode Island.
I don't know.
Wisconsin,
to be honest with you.
Or Providence, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Wisconsin or Providence. It's a tournament, 14 tournament there. So if you start that season with those 5 wins, if you start 7-0, you got some good wins, like not elite wins. I mean, Arizona might be an elite win, but like it's going to be good enough to where that Duke and UConn game, where those are going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, tough non-conference
back
this year.
to back.
Yeah. It's probably, even if you end up being a really good team that has at least a shot of going back to back, probably going to be hard to replicate record-wise what Florida pulled off last year, just because, again, much tougher non-conference you're working with this time around than what Florida had to deal with last year. But I think it's good. I think it's good to be tested early before the SEC.
Ken Palm currently has us going, does they say the final 23-7? Wait. So they have us projected 23-7, but they only have us underdogs in 3 games because there's a lot of close games. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're going to lose more. You're going to lose, about half.
I mean, that sounds about in line with what my expectations are this year.
And the 3 losses: 1 point at Duke, 1 point. They have it semi away against UConn. That's in Madison Square Garden. That's going to be a UConn home game, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last game of the season by 3 at Kentucky.
So they have us going 17-1 in SEC play.
Well, no, because we play a lot of games.
Sorry. You're just saying those are the games you had that they're underdogs. Yeah.
That we're losing, but because like when they do their projections, they aren't saying they're only losing 3 games. Like if you're a 60% favorite in like 5 games, you're probably going to lose 1 or 2.
It is just an overall record prediction, not going game by game with their numbers and picking it. Okay, it's a weird way to do that, but okay.
It makes sense.
Well, like I get it. It's just like kind of feels unscientific for Ken Palm, like which is otherwise a very scientific outlet. I'd be curious.
Well, if it has you playing like 10 games where you're 60% chance to win, you're probably not gonna win all 10 of those games.
No, like I agree, it intuitively makes sense. I'm just curious how they actually go about deciding what that record is, given that Florida is not picked to lose more than 3 of them. But whatever, is what it is.
Yeah, 13-5 in conference play. So interesting enough there. Big Gator EJ on my way to Vegas. Man, that's gonna be a fun one to do.
That will be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Have fun at the game.
If the game was on a Saturday or a Sunday, I might have gone for my birthday. So
that would have been a sick birthday trip.
Yeah, I would have. But no, because it's on a Monday. It's just you want to leave for the weekend, then you got to take Monday off work, and then probably Tuesday or
because you're not gonna fly back after the game Monday night, probably.
Yeah. So decided not to. I might go to the Miami game though. That'll be to be determined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might actually be. I might be at that one too, depending on what happens.
But that's our basketball talk. We have a long season ahead of us, and hopefully a fruitful one there. And it'd be cool if we're able to find a way to go back to back again.
That could be sick.
UConn took away our reign of being the last team to go back to back, and we got to take it right back from them.
We could restore the Twitter bio because it was the last to cut down back to back, and then they changed to like. I don't remember what it is, but it's basically now just like we cut down back to back or just like 3-time national champion. But they could change it back to the last to cut down back to back if we do it. So
yeah, would be sick. But hey, it's gonna be fun to watch us play. Make sure if you guys have it, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We're live every week. We're gonna be doing our Kentucky post game. Obviously, next week we'll be previewing the Ole Miss game. That'll be fun. Hopefully, get some Ole Miss fans in here. That'll be a lot of trash talk there, I bet. But are you ready to
start? If he still hasn't signed that extension, that is going to be the most toxic football weekend in a long time.
Oh, yeah. And especially now that Matt Rule and Rhett Lashley signed extensions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or Signetti signed a couple weeks ago. Like, at this point.
I mean, look, I think I said it on the show. Like, when we fired, I think the day we fired Billy, I said, if we're sitting here 2 weeks from today and there's an extension on his desk that he still hasn't signed, I'll be feeling pretty good. And here we are 2 weeks from that day, extension on his desk, I believe, or, at least, they could agree in principle to something.
One thing I'll say, the past week on Ole Miss message boards has been starting to get a little bit panic mode.
Yeah, it seems like they've changed their tone a little bit because it seems like their insiders were pretty confident on him staying, and that seems to not be the case anymore.
From what I've seen from Ole Miss message boards, now this is only Ole Miss message boards that I'm talking about here, there has been some rumblings that there's been a lack of communication between Kiffin and Keith Carter. Or Sexton and Keith Carter within the last week. And the Ole Miss moderators of their boards, or not moderators, but writers.
They're like the insiders,
Yeah, they've been kind of keeping things a bit cryptic in a not so favorable way that Ole Miss would want. As I'm not quoting quote for quote here, but he said something along the lines of, if I typed out what I was told not to say, there would be a full-blown panic.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the very least, it's abundantly clear that the interest is real.
They've said that.
Yeah, the idea that Lane would never consider the Florida job and is for sure staying, I think that has been made abundantly clear that that's not the case. Could he still make a decision at the 11th hour to stay? Sure, he's done it before, but yeah.
Big Gator EJ, we will rename our city Lanesville to get him to come.
Whatever it takes, my friend. Whatever it takes.
I'm saying I'm going to be at the Ole Miss game. If Florida wins that game, I'm going to be with the Florida fans in the Florida section there. The chants are going to become "We want Lane" at a pretty high level, especially when Florida wins that game.
Yeah, I've got a couple buddies going to that game, and I'm a little worried about their safety, both from them instigating and them being on the receiving end. Just in general, a little worried about how that weekend's going to go down. But man, if he still hasn't signed and this is all still brewing, it's gonna get to a fever pitch in that game.
Yeah, that Ole Miss environment is gonna be different. I've been to a bunch of road games.
Yeah,
Miami earlier this year. I've been to Death Valley. I've been to Williams-Brice and some more. It's like those are two fan bases fighting over a game. This is gonna be more than the game.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a coach even.
Yeah, it's like it feels bigger than the game, and it's like whether Florida wins or loses that game, that dynamic is still going to be there. Like, I think because now it sounds like the chatter. I mean, all the chatter I've seen is that if it's Lane, they're going to announce something at the end of the regular season and deal with whatever awkwardness might come from that. Which it would be awkward. We've never seen something like that happen before. I don't really know how that would work out, but that seems to be just all the chatter that if this is happening, it's happening after Thanksgiving weekend.
But let's target that into our Kentucky-Florida preview here. Florida travels to Lexington to play Kentucky. Is it 7 or 7:30 kick? 7, right? No, 7:45.
It's a good question. 7:30 on
7:30. Is it SEC Network?
Yeah, it is SEC Network. But so it is usually. You're right. That is usually a 7:45, but it's 7:30 for whatever reason this week.
All right, but Florida travels to Lexington to play 7:30 game on the SEC Network. Kentucky, they're not good, but they've been playing some close football games with teams. Obviously, they got that win over Auburn at Auburn too, in just a game no one was talking about. I didn't hear a single conversation about Auburn, Kentucky before that game. And then I'm just driving back and I check the halftime score and it's 3-3. And then I get home and I see the end of it and it's just Auburn actually lost. Like, I didn't even realize that was a game happening this weekend. But Kentucky, they took Texas to overtime. They lost to Ole Miss by 7. Like, they've played some close games. Cutter Boley is like, he's kind of got like a little bit of a dog in him. You know what I mean? Like, I watch him play, and it's like, he's not the most athletic guy. He's not the most fundamental guy, but like, he's able to make some plays when it matters. And with the Texas game, he got a touchdown or got in field goal range or whatever it was late in the Texas game, made some big plays to send it to OT, and then was able to make enough plays in the Auburn game to get them the lead, and their defense held on. So I'm not sure if this Kentucky team is really just good on a good defense, or, you know, if they just have that dog in offense, or if they play to their other team. And you look at that Auburn game, Auburn starting Ashton Daniels, that was Jackson Arnold hurt or benched?
Benched.
Benched? Okay.
Yeah, he got benched he got benched after the pick 6 against Arkansas, and then they won the game. That's right. With Ashton Daniels. Yeah. Yeah,
that's right. So they shut down Auburn's offense, which just hasn't been good. They were able to do that as well against Texas. And I mean, Tennessee scored a good bit on them. But Tennessee's offense scored a real good bit on Kentucky as well. So I kind of think Kentucky just plays to their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, they got beat pretty bad by Georgia and South Carolina.
That is true.
But I feel you. They have done that at times this year, no doubt.
Now, the question is going to be, are they feeling more confident after getting their first SEC win, or are they going to be coming off a high of getting their first SEC win of the season?
Yeah, I don't really see it here. Like, I think that, like, nothing they showed against Auburn. I mean, they scored 10 points against a good defense. Like, okay. I mean, you won. It's not ideal. I mean, I think, like, their passing game, like, yeah, Cutter Boley's kind of had his moments, but, like, on a down-to-down basis, their passing game hasn't been that good. Seth McGowan's solid running back. They've been a little bit more consistent in that regard, but still not a very good offense overall here. I think defensively, the thing that interests me is they've actually been semi-solid against the run. So maybe that forces Florida into airing the ball out kind of more, which we saw that to an extent yesterday. I mean, Ball only had 15 carries and KD Daniels had 6. Obviously ran 32 times, but a lot of that was Lagway, and I'm not sure how many of those were actually designed runs. So point being, Florida kind of shifted away from that a little bit yesterday. I wonder if they have to do so even more in this game. But I also think if they do have to do so, I think the offense can probably make some plays here in the passing game.
Yeah, so I'm looking at their statistics here, and as you were saying, they're 22nd in giving up 3.5 yards a rush, 38th in yards per game on the grounds. Their pass defense is also pretty solid at giving up. They're 85th in pass yards per game,
and they're 86th in offensive passing success rate or passing. Yeah, so they're not very efficient, like, or good down to down against the pass. They're slightly upper half in terms of the run offense. Sorry, I'm looking at offensive. Sorry, their defensive success rate against the pass is 73, so it's still not that much better. They're still pretty bad against the pass defensively.
No, so their pass defense, is kind of mediocre, and the rush defense is above average statistically. Yeah. But then again, as we were kind of getting at, or I was kind of getting at, they gave up 56 to Tennessee, a good offense, and Tennessee was able to, 400 yards through the air for Joey Aguilar. Yeah. And I mean, Star Thomas averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Deshaun Bishop 3.4 with 48. So they didn't run it too much, but I mean, they also had a ton of success through the air. So I mean, they ran it for over 100 yards on Kentucky, and then you also look at Georgia. So we'll go kind of in order here. That Texas game, they held them to 16, and Texas did nothing offensively. Texas offense has been bad all year until really that Vandy game where they kind of maybe they found something, maybe they just got one game fluke type of deal there. But then Georgia, they gave up 35 points, which includes Chauncey Bowens and Gunnar Stockton both averaging over 4.5 yards, and Nate Frazier averaging 5 yards per carry. So Georgia's run and pass offense were pretty successful against Kentucky. Like, they weren't elite, but successful enough for not to really question the game or anything like that. And then go back to Ole Miss, where Ole Miss scored 30 points on them, where Austin Simmons threw for 235, and Quan Lacey ran for 140 and a touchdown. Austin Simmons also ran for 44 yards and a touchdown. And it's also just occurring to me, this was the Austin Simmons game.
Like that was before Ole Miss's offense really hit its stride, obviously, which was when Trinidad Chambliss came in.
So if our offense plays like it did against Georgia, against a much weaker defense, we should be able to score 30 in this game.
Yeah, I think Florida's going to be absolutely fine in this game. Believe me, I'm not like high on this Florida team. I'm probably less bullish on us winning either that Ole Miss or Tennessee game. Like, I'm probably less so than you are, but I don't think Florida's going to have any problems in this game. I really don't. I think even with Kentucky kind of doing what they've done a couple times this year, I think Florida is just not a very good matchup for them.
No. Yeah, I feel like that. I saw that spread come out of Florida -3.5.
Is that all it is?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's already moved.
I'm curious now. I'm going to check on that because that is wild if that's really all it is.
Yeah, I am very tempted to take that up there because I think we kind of are going to be able to win this game. Like, I won't make my prediction yet.
Nope, hasn't moved. Still at Florida -3.5.
Yeah, I might have to go ahead and take that right there because, I don't think this Kentucky team is that good.
Easy money.
And now, here's the question. Does Florida give up? It's something we talked about for 2 years under Billy Napier here, where they lost the game. They lost a close game to a big team. And it's like, oh, is this now where they lay down and rest? Is this where they finally give up?
Because I don't see why they would after the way they came out. Like, if you don't give up after they fire the coach when you're 3-4.
Well, it's still, you're playing Georgia. It was still a big rivalry game.
Sure.
With Billy G was probably able to motivate him for a game against Georgia compared to a road game against Kentucky. Hey, maybe Kentucky winning gives them more motivation. It opens their eyes a bit more.
I mean, I also just
take this.
Like, you got to think, though, as frustrating as that result was yesterday, you got to think it also gives them some confidence they can win these games.
Maybe.
Because you just took a really good team to the absolute wire.
Yeah, Noids are here. We are terrible at away games, but Napier is gone, though. And I mean, we haven't been terrible at away games against bad teams.
Yeah. Napier just didn't have any good. I mean, we haven't been good. We weren't good at anything with Napier, but like the bigger issue with Napier was like 0 signature road wins. I mean, because we talked about it, like his best one was like A&M first year. Yeah.
Or South Carolina.
When they had like 20 guys missing. Yeah. Or like a 5-7 South Carolina team. Yeah. So granted, this is a 4-8 at best Kentucky team we're talking about here, probably. So
Big Gator EJ. I'm saying 23-17 Gators. You have to take the lead on them and force your offense to take risk. UK will hang around, force you to make.
I don't think they score. I don't think they score.
Like, I'm kind of like gut wise, I'm kind of agreeing with you a bit there, but like mind wise, I'm like, on paper, we should probably win this game by a couple scores.
I mean, it's like, this is one that even at the lowest we were on this team, when we were like talking legit, like 3-9 or 2-10 or whatever was a possibility. Even then, or whatever. Okay. But like, we still kind of agreed that like 4-8 was very likely.
Yes.
Which, I guess that's still very possible. But like, this was still
even to switch.
Yeah. Even at that point though, this was still the one I was like, Florida's going to win this game. Like there was never, even at my lowest, I was never like, well, we're going to lose to Kentucky too. So I don't worry about this game. I think Florida's defense will be able to handle them. And I think even if you don't get a great outing from DJ on the road, I think it'll just end up being an ugly win. Maybe kind of similar to what Big Gator EJ said there. I think it'll probably, I mean, we'll get into prediction in a second, but like, I think it'll probably be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, here we have a few playmakers at wide receiver left. You still have J. Michael Stewart, Trey Wilson emerge. Are Mizell and VB3?
Status?
We don't know.
I'm not optimistic about VB3 is a separated shoulder, right?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I had heard. So I'm not super optimistic if that's the case that he's coming back like soon. But who knows? And then I don't think we have a lot of clarity in what's going on with Mizell. I'm not sure we've had a lot of clarity with what's going on with Mizell at any point in his Gators career, if I'm being honest.
But I'll still take J. Michael Sturdivant, Trey Wilson, Tank Abrams. Nashawn played a little bit. Like, I still think I'd take our receivers against their DBs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't really like. I think, especially because I think despite what we said about Kentucky's run defense, it's not like elite. It's just like the strength of a bad team.
I kind of think we should have ran the ball a bit more against Georgia.
We probably should have, and I think they might. Even though I said earlier maybe Kentucky will force you to have to throw the ball, I think if you can just if you can establish, like if you can find a way to establish the run at least decently in this game, I think you'll have absolutely no problems.
I thought we ran better on Georgia than like almost anybody has. I mean, Tennessee, how did they run against Georgia?
Did they run against Georgia? I just feel like
that's what I'm figuring out. That's
like
what I'm
50
wondering.
Passes in that game. Maybe
Yeah, I mean,
Bob was 4.8 a carry, so I mean that's not bad.
Okay,
Star Thomas solid.
Yeah, they ran against. I mean, Star Thomas was 9 for 60, 6.7 average, and no one else was over 4.
That's pretty good. I mean, in a game where you had to air it out, that's good running. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think we ran it as well, not pretty well as Tennessee did. Maybe a bit. I don't know if we gave it enough attempts. Because outside of that 4th and 1 stand, like we were able to get yards on the ground.
Yeah. I'm curious what Georgia did on them. Georgia did rushing. Yeah, Georgia. It looks like Georgia ran the ball decently well on them. I'm trying to find the numbers. The actual specific numbers.
Yeah, Chauncey Bowens 15 for 70, Gunnar Stockton 6 for 48, Frazier 7 for 34, Bo Walker 3 for 18. Like they ran for what is that, like 140? No, they ran for 180 on Kentucky and 6-point yards.
Yeah, I mean,
they ran well on them.
Yeah,
mobile QB threat though does add to Georgia's.
Hey, DJ design run DJ, we're back. It's back.
Yeah, I'm talking more about the pass game, like ability to evade pressure and stuff.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Do they get a lot of pressure? Are they a high pressure team?
Let me see here.
Their pass
defense.
Their havoc percentage is kind of middle of the road.
Their sack percentage is 36 in the country. Now they've also played bad offensive lines in back-to-back games against Auburn and Texas.
Yeah.
So, and you said their havoc there's probably
their havoc is like their havoc's like 50. Their havoc's like 50th percentile, like right around 50th percentile.
I'm pretty sure I'll say Kentucky's O-line's pretty good, isn't it? It's solid, right?
Well, I mean, they run the ball decently well, so you'd have to assume it's pretty solid if they're running the ball decently well in the SEC.
So, I think if Kentucky's able to keep our offense at bay, keep this a one-score game, and we get to the 4th quarter, and we've seen it against Kentucky, we saw it against Georgia, against Miami, against A&M, against everyone basically we've played. Our run defense does get wear down. Mm-hmm. So if they're able to keep it close, I think that's something that it could get. But it's also like if they can't throw the ball, and we can just commit to the run, can Cutter Boley continue to make plays? A couple plays. That's kind of.
I question the ability to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like Georgia's offense is really good. I thought the defense did a pretty good job against them yesterday. Like if you get a similar performance, I don't think they'll have any problems.
Like I agree with you, but there are a couple things under the Napier tenure, these are the types of games where they've probably been a bit closer.
I mean, you're right.
Than you would want.
But
I mean, last year we beat them by 28.
Yeah. I mean, Napier's record against Kentucky, Napier had a losing record against. He was 1-2, right?
Okay, well, I mean specifically level of team. This is the worst Kentucky team.
Yeah,
of the Napier tenure. It's not even Napier tenure anymore. So
yeah,
but I guess let's get into our picks here. I feel like you're a bit more confident on yours, so I'm gonna let you make your pick first.
Yeah, that's weird. This is a rare dynamic. Usually it's the opposite. Yeah, I mean, I think I think Florida might have some troubles here. I think maybe it's a little tight early on. I really don't see it. I think the one thing you could point to where maybe Kentucky makes it a game is their run defense, which like Big Gator EJ said, maybe they load the box, force DJ to make some passes. I question. First of all, I think even with the injuries you've got, I think if you load the box against this Florida team, they will just cook you over the top with Trey Wilson. Like I mean, you'll have to ask DJ to make those throws. He still made them at points yesterday. I think Florida is going to be mostly fine here. I see this one being like 31-14.
Whoa, okay, yeah. So you like us a good bit there.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict whether this is still going to be similar to the Napier tenure or not. I mean, the Georgia game was a very Napier-like game there. Lose a close one. Defense just can't hold at the end because the offense was not able to score. But so it's like, do I keep the same philosophy I would if Napier were the coach? I'm gonna go a little bit in between. I'll say we win 27-13.
Okay, so you're
where
like,
we win by 2 scores.
You don't think it's like a two-plus score win or 2-score win.
But like, I think that could also just be like a late touchdown to put it away in the fourth quarter, where it's like if Kentucky gets a stop, it's like, oh, it's a 1-score game. They could, but it's also like, I think we're gonna control it, and 27-14 is a couple field goals as well. So a couple of field goals that should have been touchdowns, even like until I see us able to do it to that team, to the Kentucky level team, which Billy G could. Again, it's just we only have the 1 game sample size with Billy G as a coach, and it was a very Napier-like game. Now it's Georgia. That's going to happen most of the time, but that's why I'm kind of going in between to where we do win by 14. So 27-13 is my prediction.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Noah here. I'm not that confident, but I think like 23-14.
I genuinely think we can score a little bit more points than that. Like I look at like what we did. I look at what we did to like Mississippi State. I think we can. I mean, maybe, but I think. Look, I mean, Florida's actually pretty good offensively in the red zone when they can get to the red zone. More of an issue of getting to the red zone. So we'll see. But I kind of think they can score 30 in this game. I mean, look, you put up 20 on Georgia. It looked like you were kind of on pace to put up more, maybe. So I mean, I think if you can get a similar effort, I think you can win this game pretty handily.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting because I could see just laying an egg here because of, this could just be it. New code. I mean, you're not. I don't know.
If you lay an egg here, you're probably losing out. I mean, I feel like you're probably going to lose out if you lay an egg here.
Maybe.
I mean, you're worrying about like the team quitting after a 4-point loss to Georgia. I think an any point loss to Kentucky would do that.
Yeah, but are they going to quit in a rivalry games against Tennessee, FSU, and then that Ole Miss game is a big time game? I don't know. It's weird. I mean, the Billy Napier tenure has seen a lot of weird things where we lose to Arkansas, then lose on a 4th and 17 to a top 10 Missouri team, and then play a close game with a top 10 FSU team. Like, it's hard to say under Billy G tenure because we haven't seen it, but. If I'm basing this more so off the Billy Napier era, because still his roster, he still coached a team for the majority of the season and everything like that. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, I could see us, as you said, 34. I could see us, even doing even worse or even better. Like I could see us being like a 41-10 game. If like
I'd be
Billy
a little
G
surprised
really
if we have that much offensive success. But again, maybe like I'm not sure Kentucky has the DBs to like hang with a guy like Trey or even JMS. Like I think,
and was Trey just like a one-time game?
I mean, I feel like we've been yelling for a while that Trey is capable of doing that and just hasn't been utilized in that manner. So we'll see. I don't really think so, but we'll see.
Yeah, Rob, this is a 17-13 game at best. Like. I think we score a bit more, but like I feel a little bit. I feel the pressure. I think I've been convinced by others to maybe be a bit more worried, but I don't know. We'll see. It's just so hard to predict. And yeah, UK is Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky. I think this game matters. Yeah,
I don't think that really plays into it. To be honest with you, I don't think
I'm gonna say
future permanent rival matters that much.
6'3" Dallas Wilson, 5'10" Tank Hawkins being the replacement there. And that's more on Nashawn, Abrams also isn't really that tall, but they like him a bit more in that role. Sort of.
I'll say if you can get one of VB3 or Mizell back this week, and I don't know how likely that is in either case, but if you can get one of them back, I think that's huge. I think that would make a big difference.
Yeah, it would, but that's our predictions for this. We both got us winning here, so it'll be nice. I hope we get the win so we can go into Oxford with a bit of momentum, and all that trash talk could be pretty fun with Ole Miss fans for the next week. And if we win that game, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ole Miss fans are. I saw an Ole Miss fan on our board. Obviously, it was obviously a joke, being like, "Hey, we gotta get a gang together and go beat up Florida fans at the game."
Yeah, I saw that. Man, it is gonna be toxic. Like, it's gonna be so toxic. Best of luck to you there, because it will be toxic.
Hey, I'm gonna be in the section with Gator fans. So
yeah, but I just been walking in and out of the stadium and stuff like that. It's just gonna be a lot of toxicity.
I'm not too worried about the Ole Miss fans that are going to be wearing their collared shirts and khaki shorts.
Well, they won't even be there in the second half, even if they're winning. So you don't have to worry about that. They'll have gone home.
Or the first half.
Or they
won't be in the first half either. But do you have anything else you want to say before we end this stream here?
No, not really. I think yesterday was disappointing, but also I don't really know what you expected. I think there were encouraging signs from it. Glad to see this team is still playing hard without Billy. And look, no, it doesn't matter that much, but getting to a bowl would, I think, be a nice way to salvage what looked like it was going to be a really disastrous season. And that's still gonna be really hard to do, but it's gonna be a lot harder to do if you don't win this game. So let's go win this game and try to get to a bowl. And, we'll see what happens on the Lane Kiffin front in the weeks to come. But for now, let's try to make something of this season and get a couple big wins. And maybe, if not knock Ole Miss out of the playoffs in a couple weeks, knock them out of, being a home team in round one. So we'll see.
Yeah. Not going to put yeah, I think Gator Uche, that's kind of what I was implying a bit earlier without saying it out loud.
Yeah,
and this is what, I want to see this team play as many games as possible. So that bowl game, just that one more game to hold you over, would be a pretty big deal to me, especially if you beat your back-to-back rivals, it would be really nice to have.
Well, it's look, 6-6 is not the standard either, but Florida doesn't have losing seasons. The amount of losing seasons Florida's had in the last 8 years or 10 years, 10, 12 years, I guess, is embarrassing. And let's not do that again. Let's find a way to get back, at least on the right side of 500. Yeah,
be like the basketball team playing Vegas.
Yeah. Although I don't want to repeat at that Las Vegas Bowl. That was probably the least fun I've ever. That's probably the least fun I've ever had watching a Florida game. The least invested, and then paired with the least fun game. I've never cared less about a Florida game. I've never enjoyed watching a Florida game less. That was rough.
Kenpo Karate. Best way to get in Kiffin is to whip Ole Miss at their home.
I don't think that really matters for what it's worth.
I don't.
I don't think that's going to play into it. I think if he's coming whether they win or lose that game. I don't think that affects his calculus.
Yeah, I agree with you. Although I think losing does help it a bit.
I think losing helps just in the sense that it might make the timeline a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I think it's definitely good for Florida just all around to win that game. But I don't think it's not if Florida wins, I'll be now we're definitely getting Lane. I just don't think it's gonna matter that much.
Yeah, that's a fair point there. But hey, I want to thank everyone for watching the stream. Make sure you guys do, if you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave your opinions and everything like that. It's gonna be a wild end to the season, win or lose. Getting Lane is going to be the biggest news that could happen this offseason. No recruit, no transfer, or anything like that will top it. But and if we don't get Lane, that's going to be the biggest news.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't want to imagine what the show after he signs an extension, a hypothetical extension, would be like.
Hey, extension, but buyout decreases. That's what we're hoping for.
Isn't the buyout already $3 million?
Yeah, it's a cheap buyout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Extend him, but give him a cheaper buyout.
Yeah.
And LSU can finally hire Napier. Napier wouldn't take that job. There's too much chaos there.
No, Napier's above that. Napier doesn't need to go somewhere with alignment like that.
That's just crazy. But no,
hey, Auburn could finally get their guy. They wanted him. They've wanted him all this time. They could finally get their guy, Billy Napier.
Maybe Dan Mullen. They like Mountain West coaches. No, but thank you guys for watching. We will be live late Saturday night next week for the Kentucky-Florida post-game show. Yeah, that's not going to be until like 11:30, so that's going to be a late night for us there. But
yeah, it'll be fun.
Hopefully it's an entertaining one or a winning one at the least. Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you then. And have a great week. And as always, go Gators.